All right, I'm going to show you one of my best. Not one of my best, but one of my best. This is a trick that has two people spectating, in fact, participating, because they get to pick out any card that they like. So let's say that one. Now, I'll show you that card, and in fact, we'll put it up on the board. That way, this is the 73rd card trick video you've watched today. You don't have to remember nothing. So card number one is going to be put back in. In fact, this person could choose where it goes back in. Free choice right there. Now, this is also going to involve person number two. They are going to pick out a card as well. So they get to do just that. And same as before, free choice. Go as slow as you so choose. And that will be card number two. Put it up on the board. And person number two, in fact, hang on, I'll give you the good close-up view of this. Person number two, again, slips it in wherever they like. Okay. Now, person number two gets to go first. Person number two just taps on the back of the card. That's all you need to do. Give it a tap, the magic tap, and watch close. It's not going to be the first card. It's not going to be the second card, but you can see every single card in the pack up until one turns over. And it is the only card that turns over in the pack. So that, all done by you. And person number one, you know what to do now. Just give the pack a tap. And look, not the first card, the second card, but somewhere in here is indeed your card. From a shuffled deck. So this one is called The Timed Turnover from Wilbur Kattner in My Best. And it stood out to me, the first, like almost half of this book is card tricks, but a lot of them have disqualifiers for me. There are things like, you know, they have an unpleasant number of piles that involve counting down and remembering that number and then going, you know, that's sort of nonsense that when I see in a card trick, I am immediately turned off. But time turnover stood out as it kind of fits that feel of a more modern sleight of hand card trick. And in fact, it's nice in that it's structured in such a way where you're kind of always doing the next thing as you're showing the last thing. So it's kind of, you know, that economy of motion somewhat. However, in order to kick things off, you have to do a move that, not that it's difficult, but it can be angle sensitive. I would classify it in the half pass family of card moves, which, you know, you're doing something that, from my perspective, looks great. It's the best angle, the magician's angle. But if you're watching from this side, you know, where the audience sits, it's not such a good angle for that kind of move to turn over a card. So I was looking at different options, and what I showed you just then is kind of my adaptation of the move in order to cut down the angles and break it up. You know, Roger Klaus concept of half move. So I do half of the move, and then I pause for a moment, and then I do the second half of the move, and it prevents it being some rapid, weird action. It breaks it up. So anyway, it's still, even then, it's still a bit of an angle-sensitive thing. So I was chatting with my buddy Clark, as I normally do about anything card tricks, and asking him what he might suggest to turn over a single card in a really efficient manner. And he suggested a few things, and we were just talking about it. And in that conversation, I thought, what about, okay, there's this Larreverse. It's a move from Larry Jennings. And I was thinking about it, I'm like, wait a minute, you could do this whole trick with just that. So I'm going to show you what that looks like right about now. So the effect is pretty well the same. We're going to have two people each pick a card. And we'll start with, say, this one. We got the Jack of Spades. Okay, Jack of Spades. You just remember that. That'll be your card. And we'll carry on. We'll get a second card picked here. Say that one. Queen. Oh, we're going royal here. The Queen of Clubs. So person number 2 can remember that card. And otherwise, nothing weird about the pack now. Person number 1. You picked first. You get to go first. Tap the deck. And they do. And we look through. And again, I'll show you the close-up view here. We look through and sure enough, there is the Jack. So that's 1, and that is the only card reversed in the pack. Person number 2, you get to tap, and 1 card reversed in the pack. So that I would call a more streamlined handling, and it eliminates any angle problem. The only trade-off then is that the cards are revealed face up. So the magician gets to see the cards in this handling, which is not a small thing. You know, when you're performing magic for, to us it's no big deal, but when you're performing magic for normal people, when the magician sees a card, it's like, oh, well, of course he could do blank because he saw the card. So keeping that card a secret is actually kind of a big deal. Other than that, it's a really nice handling of what is kind of the indistinguishable effect. So there you have it. A couple Larreverses and you're in business. But that is timed turnover and variations. Here I am, reading my magic books, doing my magic homework. I'll see you next time.